Good morning, dear students. I am Dr. Batri Srinivas, Professor of Chemistry, St. Peter's Engineering College. Today, I am going to discuss boiler troubles and its treatment. Boiler troubles and its treatment. Boiler troubles and its treatment. This is our topic. In the last two classes, what I explained, what are those topics? They are the owners of water, types of owners, the specification of potable water, steps involved in the purification of potable water. Have you remember what are the steps involved in the potable water? They are sources of water, screening, aeration, sedimentation, coagulation, filtration, and finally disinfection or sterilization. We know that these are the topics already discussed. But just water is purified, but salts are not removed. The salts are not completely removed. Many salts are present in the water. Many salts are present in the water. This creates problems to boilers. This creates problems to boilers. So boilers are employed in industry for generation of what? The boilers are employed in the industry for generation of steam. Generation of steam. So boilers using in the industry for generation of steam. Boilers feed water. The boilers feed water must have honest below 0.22 ppm. 0.22 ppm. Below. What below? The hardness. The hardness. How much? Below 0.2 ppm parts per million. Castic alkalinity. Castic alkalinity. So how much? This is how much ppm? This is also 0.5 ppm. 0.5 ppm. And soda alkalinity. Soda alkalinity how much? Soda. 0.452 1 ppm. 0.452 1 ppm. How much? That below the hardness below 0.2 ppm and caustic 0.5 ppm and soda alkalinity is 0.45 into 1 ppm. Okay? So if the boiler feed water not maintaining these specifications, what happened? So that boilers gets troubles. The boiler feed water will start troubles. When raw water directly fed into the boilers, various physical as well as chemical reactions takes place. When raw water directly fed into the boilers, so here heating will take place. When raw water is directly fed into the boilers, various physical as well as chemical reactions are induced in the boilers. With the action of heat ultimately the problems or troubles will start. What are the troubles? What are the troubles we are going? That is our topic. Why troubles? That is our topic. What are the troubles? They are what? They are sludges with duster. They are what? The problems are sludges, sludge, scales and sludge. Scales and sludges. So other than these also there. What are that? Castic embrittlement, priming and foaming, boiler corrosions, castic embrittlement, priming and foaming, and boiler corrosions. Boiler corrosions. Priming and foaming, castic embrittlement, So these all are troubles, but in our syllabus only scales and sludges are there. What are that? Scales and sludges. Scales and sludges, that is our topic. So we don't want to discuss all these things. Only what is that? Scales and sludges. First of all, we have to look in this. First, how to form the scales. How to form the scales. First we will look the formation of the scales. And second one is the causes. And third one is the treatment. Because treatment is our topic. While troubles and treatment. Formation of the scales, causes of the scales, and treatment of the scales and sludges. So these are our topics. Okay. As the water gets continuously converted into steam, in a boiler. How? For example, here it is a boiler. This is a big boiler and heating. So water is coming, the raw water and steam. This is the steam. And here this is the heating material. As the water gets continuously converted into steam in a boiler, it leads to remarkable rise in the concentration of salts. The raw water containing the many salts. This raw water containing the salts and continuously converted into steam. Raw water is coming and continuously getting steam. So what it leads to remarkable rise in the concentration. So in the water, what happened there? So steam is going, water vapor going out, and salts are remarkably rise in the concentration. Salts. When the ionic product of salts exceeds the solubility product, these salts thrown out of the boiler water. So what happened? The salts appeared. In concentration is increased. What happened? Salts are appeared. So these salts may get precipitated. This appeared thing is called precipitated, PPT. Precipitated. PPT means here precipitation takes place. PPT. Precipitation. These salts may get precipitated and it forms hard, hard coating on the inner walls of the boiler and also bottom of the boilers is known as scales. What? Inner walls of the walls of the boiler and bottom of the boiler. These are called what? Scales. What is meant by scales? As the water gets continuously converted into steam, it leads to remarkable rise in the concentration of salts. When these ionic product of salts exceed the solubility product of the salts are thrown out of the boiler. So these salts are thrown out of the boilers. These salts may get precipitated. These salts may get precipitated and forms hard heathering coating on the inner side of the walls and bottom of the boilers. It's called what? Scales. And next, sludge. The scales are what? Very hard heathering coating on the inner walls of the bottom of the boiler is known as scales. And some of the salts may float on the boiler water and loose and slimy precipitated. Some of the salts here loose and float on the boiler water and float on the boiler water. Loose and float on the boiler water and slimy precipitated. Called what? Sludges. Scales and sludges. The scales formation and sludge formation we have how to form. When the formation takes place like this. Formation mean raw water coming inside and precipitated. When because continuously the water continuously converted into the steam. Here two types are there. One is sticking, adhering the scales, and another salts are floating and slimy in the nature. So they are the sludges. And the sludges are not sticky to the walls of the boilers. Okay. Next, the formation is completed. Next, causes. Next, causes. So causes. So what are the causes? You know, what are those salts? They are what? Calcium sulfate, calcium carbonate, magnesium hydroxide, calcium hydroxide, and magnesium chloride, calcium chloride. So these are scales and sludges. Among these salts, which one is which? So these calcium up to here, these are the responsible for the formation of scales. Calcium sulfate, calcium carbonate, magnesium hydroxide, calcium hydroxide are causes for the formation of scales. Whereas magnesium chloride and calcium chloride are problem for the formation of sludge. Formation of sludges. So these are the formation of sludges. And calcium carbonate, mainly this calcium carbonate mainly formed by the decomposition of calcium bicarbonate. Already we seen in the hardness of water just weakening. So they form the calcium carbonate and carbon dioxide and water will form. Calcium carbonate and water will formation takes place. That is the calcium carbonate. Formation takes place how? The bicarbonate decomposes into calcium carbonate and carbon dioxide formation and water released. Okay? And next, calcium carbonate. When hydrolyzed, when this calcium carbonate is hydrolyzed, mean react with the water to form water, calcium hydroxide formation takes place. Calcium hydroxide and carbon dioxide. carbonate. For example, magnesium bicarbonate. What happened? Magnesium bicarbonate to form the magnesium carbonate, and magnesium carbonate hydrolyzed to form the magnesium hydroxide. Magnesium bicarbonate converted to the magnesium carbonate, and magnesium carbonate hydrolyzed to form the magnesium hydroxide. Magnesium hydroxide. Magnesium hydroxide. And when magnesium chlorides, so magnesium chloride also hydrolyzed to form the magnesium hydroxide. Magnesium hydroxide. Simply, you can see, for example, magnesium chloride hydrolyzed to form the magnesium hydroxide. So these reactions. Okay. So formation of scales and sludges and causes. In the causes, you remember the salts and 2-3 reactions. Okay. Formation and scales. And sometimes may ask you. So what is the difference between the scales and sludges? Scales and sludges. Write the definition. Just write the definition and causes. So, and one diagram, simple diagram. This is the two boilers are there. Two types of boilers. One is the scales formation and sludge formation. Scales, you know what? Calcium sulfate, calcium carbonate, magnesium carbonate. So here, so what are that scales formation takes place? So here I will write. So this is the water. In the water, simply scales are like this. Bottom of the and walls. These are the scales. Scales. This is the boiler. This is the water. The scales are adhering very hard and inner side of the walls and bottom of the walls. And whereas here this is the water and mainly here these are the sludges floating on the water. Float on water. So this is the boiler. Okay. Boiler and sludges. So this is the difference. Chemicals, magnesium chloride, calcium chloride. Here calcium carbonate, magnesium carbonate, calcium sulfate, magnesium sulfate. Here magnesium chloride, calcium chloride. So one diagram, one definition, one reactions, scales. So whenever they will ask you what is the difference between the scales and sludges, so we have to write this action. Okay, now we will look about that. Treatment. Boiler troubles are completed. Now treatment. It's treatment or removal of scales and sludges. Okay. So here scales can be removed either mechanical or chemical method. Scales can be removed either mechanical or chemical methods. In the chemical method, in chemical method, what you see in the chemical method? In scales are loosely adhering. They can be removed by using scraper. If scales are there, so what we are? If loosely are there in the boiler, for example, this is the boiler. So it is the ductile. We can use this, remove this one, and here the scales, the scrapers. Like this is the handle and this is spoon type, and keep inside, and using the scrapers we have to remove, or like wire brush. That is the brush. Brush is like this is the wire brush. So by using of this wire brush, mechanical. This is the mechanical method. We have to see the first, not chemical method, we have to use the mechanical, in mechanical method. In mechanical method. In mechanical method, the scales are loosely adhering. They can be removed by the scrapers or brushes. If scales are brittle, it can be removed by giving a thermal shock. Thermal shock means that is what? That is heating and subsequent sudden cooling. We have to hit the boiler and sudden cooling. That is called what? A thermal shock. Thermal shock. So they can also be removed by blow down, or also if to blow down it. Blow down it. You can blow down the temperature. So chemical method, in mechanical method, how? What are scales are loosely adhering, they can be removed by using scrapers or brushes. If scales are brittle, so we can be removed by giving a thermal shock, that is heating and subsequent sudden cooling. They can also be removed by the blow down the operator. So in the chemical method. Next, in mechanical method. Next, the chemical method. In chemical method. So in chemical method, if scales are hard, they can be removed by dissolving in chemicals. So what chemicals we have to use? If calcium carbonate scales are dissolved, this is a calcium carbonate scales present. So what happened? So these scales are dissolved in 5 to 10%. 5 to 10%. 5 to 10% dilute HCl we can use. Dilute HCl. Or direct, if not concentrate we use. No problem. Concentrate. 10%, 5 to 10% HCl or concentrated HCl we can use. If calcium sulfate are present, so what we have to do? So these complexes are highly soluble by adding EDTA experiment. We have completed estimation of hardness of water. So by using EDTA, in this complex formation takes place. EDTA, calcium EDTA, magnesium EDTA. Complex are highly soluble in water. Highly soluble. Already we know calcium EDTA and magnesium EDTA. First of all, EBT, calcium EBT. When EDTA added to calcium EDTA and magnesium. These salts are very highly soluble in water. We can remove by using of chemical methods. In chemical method, 5 to 10% of HCl, or if calcium carbonate is present, if calcium sulfate are present, so we can use the EDTA. We already know calcium EDTA complex and magnesium EDTA complex. Okay? So scales are removed like this. If sludges are formed, what can we do? Sludges. If sludges are present, what can you do? The sludges formation can be removed. It's very easy because it's loosely and slim or floating in water. Just the sludge form can be removed by blow down operation. It is nothing but the removal of concentration water through an outlet at the bottom of the boiler. So how, if the here like this these are the sludges, so simply outlet water. Simply the water, through water they can be removed. So through outlet at the bottom of the boilers, as the hardness become extremely high inside it. After blow down operation, makeup is done by the addition of fresh water. So what happened? So completely removed, then you have to use the fresh water. Fresh water inside with a little bit pressure. So all will out. Okay. Next, by using softened water, that is treatment of water before entering into the boiler for reducing the concentration on its producing ions. This process also known as external treatment. External mean ion exchange method, that is we will discuss next class or tomorrow or further classes. So after purification, just the simple water will be purified, and then pure water, deionized water, we are using the boilers. Okay, so what topics are we have completed today? Boiler troubles. What are boiler troubles? Scales and sludges in our topics, especially our topic, that is scales and sludges, and the formation of scales and sludges, and causes, and what are the salts are present, what type of salts, calcium sulfate, calcium carbonate, calcium monoxide, these salts, and how to remove it. So scales and sludges, how to remove. Okay, these are the topics. Okay, thank you very much.